Think about Sanskrit is every single letter or alphabet or sound is mantra.
Even the inanimate, the jada thing like the raja, the sand, the sikata, that knows how to come together and when to get dispersed. Why can't human minds do that?
So I always say, why are you asking what is the scientific proof? My simple logic is, do it yourself, tell me whether it works or not. Because the best proof is my own experience.
So you are from an engineering background. So how can we connect engineering and science?
Oh, that's how I have survived.
Very important, I feel, because it is a very structured grammatical language. It is the perfect language for coding.
Once you do engineering, you can do anything. And second thing, once you do engineering, you want to do everything other than engineering.
Other than engineering, yeah. So we described Sanskrit as holy language, light language. There are so many descriptions for Sanskrit. And then when it comes to studies or about personality development, people used to describe Sanskrit as something make calm, something make people calm, or will help to personal development and all those things. How you describe that?
Now here I have to go to spirituality.
Okay.
Because the question is related to that. See, we say Sanskrit is a language of gods. Probably gods converse in Sanskrit. Probably. There is no evidence with me. I just go by what my ancestors believed in. And I do. See, my simple logic is, I can't prove it, but I can disprove it also. So it's fine. Probably they say gods speak in that language. Thing about Sanskrit is, every single letter or alphabet or sound is mantra. Amantram aksharam nasti. Very famous Subhashita is there. No? Amantram aksharam nasti. There is not a single syllable which cannot become a mantra. Yojakastatra dulabha. One who can decipher it and give us the meaning may be rare, but there is not a single sound which is not a mantra. So automatically what happens, mantra has its effect on people, whether people understand it or not.
Oh, okay.
See, for example, I have headache and I go to doctor and I say I have headache. Doctor says, okay, take this pill and gives some medicine. Now I don't know what is the name of that pill. I don't know what are the ingredients of the pill. I don't know anything. So closing my eyes to all those things, just because doctor has told me, I will take the pill and pill will have its impact. Now in case I am from pharmaceuticals, then when the doctor is giving me the pill, I will ask if he gives the pill separate, then I will ask what this pill is. Why? Because I know little bit about it. So then I will go little deeper into it and then I will get into it. Suppose I myself am a doctor. I don't have to go to any place. I know if this part of my head is paining, then which medicine I should take, of which, how many mgs, everything I will. The same concept works for mantras. Mantras will have impact on our body, our mind and our surroundings, irrespective of whether we understand the meaning or not. It's like taking the pill. Even if I don't understand anything, if I chant the mantra will have its impact. Now, if I understand little bit, I will know when to use which mantra. Little bit. If I understand the meaning, then while chanting the mantra, the meaning will come to my heart and the impact will be much more. So why people think that listening to Sanskrit, studying Sanskrit, reading Sanskrit, it creates an aura, a positive vibration? That is because every single sound, every single letter is a mantra. All mantras are written in Sanskrit. All not written in Sanskrit means all mantras are revealed in Sanskrit. So every single sound has got power. And that's why people think, many places know, even if wrong Sanskrit, in the sense the original verse is something, even if we are doing it wrongly, still it has impact. So what then to speak about when you do it in a proper way, in the proper intonations, if it is a part of Vedic chanting, if we do that, we see the entire ambience changes. So I feel that is the reason why suddenly people feel calm and sudden environment change happens when there is a ghosha, there is a chanting done in Sanskrit.
Do you have any scientific proof for that or evidence for that?
I can cite one example because one of my colleagues way back in some 30 years back perhaps, he had done an experiment of recitation of Medha Suktam. Medha Suktam is a Vedic Sukta, and that is for sharpening your intellect and your brain power, your reasoning and logical thinking, critical thinking you can say. And that he did that experiment on the spatial children. Spatial children who are like physically not very, Divyanga, nowadays we call them Divyanga, or some autistic children, and that changed a lot in their perception, in their understanding, because the Sanskrit shlokas or the Vedas, they have a sort of frequency and positive vibrations they create. So if the frequencies, they come after a certain interval in the same proportion, they make some diagrams. These are the experiments you can do at home also. We have seen some of such videos are there on Google. You can say, pray Google Swami, he can show you. So, what is the effect of sound or the bell sound or some Vedic mantras? You just scatter some sand on a glass table, and just on the tip of that glass table, you hammer with a little hammer, you just strike it, and that makes a different patterns. And if you do it little harshly, not gently, harshly, then it will get scattered and dispersed. So, even the inanimate, the jada thing like the raja, the sand, the sikata, that knows how to come together and when to get dispersed. Why can't human minds do that? Right? And therefore human mind works with the frequencies, with the sound vibrations, and this has been experimented, and they had marvelous, amazing results as at the end of their project.
And I also feel when we say sometimes that give me scientific proof for something, it's very difficult to find scientific proof for things which are related to the mind and intellect. They are not gross things that you can have an experiment with test tubes.
You can't measure everything.
You can't measure everything. Yeah. So I always say, why are you asking what is the scientific proof? My simple logic is, do it yourself, tell me whether it works or not. Because the best proof is my own experience. If I do it, see, everything works by that. Our medicines work by that. We say certain kind of medicine works for me, certain doctor works for me. How do you know? Because of my experience. I went there, he told me something and it worked. So I immediately started saying, he is a very good doctor and whatever he gives works. But the same doctor may not work for somebody else.
Right.
So very difficult to find scientific proof for everything. Yes, there have been brain mapping and all these experiments have been done. Nothing to go against them, but I am saying every time the proof need not come from science. Because science has to develop.
In fact, science stops at a level, and from there on the spirituality starts journeying.
So to say that give me proof, scientific proof for a spiritual thing is like pulling spiritual thing down. And therefore I feel, I am not saying believe everything blindly. No, that's not my view at all. I understand that there should be logic, there should be reasoning, etc. But I am saying the best proof is you yourself. If you yourself can experience it, I don't think any other proof will be required. I did it, I know it.
So you are from an engineering background. So how can we connect engineering and Sanskrit?
Oh, that's how I have survived in Sanskrit. I tell you, when I joined MA Sanskrit, all the people who were studying with me had a background of Sanskrit except me.
Okay.
6 of them had come from BA Sanskrit background, so they had already studied most of it which was being taught. I was the only one who had no formal Sanskrit study when I came to study MA Sanskrit. And I came first in India. And I give the entire credit to my engineering. I'll tell you 2 reasons. Number 1, this is my firm belief that once you do engineering, you can do anything. And second thing, once you do engineering, you want to do everything other than engineering.
Other than engineering, yeah.
You see today,
Yeah, that is
you see today, all the people who are well known in some other field will be engineers, but doing something else. They may be great in law. Today we have so many examples.
Yeah, true.
See, jokes apart, but the point is, engineering helps a person to think logically. And if I have not developed that logical thinking in engineering, my degree is waste. I may have got good marks in engineering, but if I have not seen that logical flow of things and how to think and how to go step by step to understand something, if I have not done that, then my knowledge is not correct. So, not only in Sanskrit but even in Vedanta, the spirituality that I study, it is of massive help. And as I said earlier, Sanskrit has a very close connection with mathematics. Mathematics not as a subject mathematics, but the way mathematics is studied, the same way Sanskrit is studied. And therefore, when I now teach Sanskrit also, many people say that, oh, you make things clear to us that were never clear to us. I said that is because previously the teachers that taught me were the language teachers. I am not a language teacher. Language does not come naturally to me. I was a person who took language as an option the moment I got that option. The moment I got that, okay, Marathi, Sanskrit, Hindi, English, you don't have to study, very good. I'm very happy. I was very happy with it. But that logical flow of thinking that was developed in engineering helped me in understanding Sanskrit, and now it is helping me tremendously in teaching Sanskrit, because Sanskrit is that kind of language. It's a very perfectly structured. There is not, I have not come across a single illogical rule in Sanskrit.
Okay.
And I have got illogical rules in all other languages. English I can speak because we are talking in English. And I earlier also mentioned to you the spelling of it, the pronunciation of it. Gauri was mentioning about the silent letters. I have never understood why psychology should start from P. I have never understood that.
Yeah, true.
Now, I am sure those who study English in that much depth will be able to give me logic.
Yes.
I am not denying it. But I am saying it is very difficult for me to understand. And most of it at the end you have to say, no, it is how it is. But I have not come across a single rule in Sanskrit where you have to say, it is how it is. No, there is a reason why it is like that. There is a reason for everything. And the moment you understand the logic and reason behind it, the language becomes so easy. So I think that's what helped me in studying Sanskrit and now teaching myself.
So, engineering help you to learn Sanskrit more easily. So, what are the career options we have when we learn Sanskrit?
Now, when you say engineering helped me in understanding Sanskrit, it can work other way around also. I had 8, 9, 10 Sanskrit in my school. Probably that has helped me in doing engineering. So, it weighs both. It works both ways. See, for example, today, I have met people who are developing tools, as Gauri was mentioning, to develop critical thinking in people. Not just by Meda Suktam, chanting, etc., but by teaching them Sanskrit as a language to develop critical thinking. So imagine a language is taught to me to develop critical thinking. It may sound absurd, but that is what is happening. And there are people who are already done it. Now, why? Because the language, when I am trying to understand the grammar part of it, unknowingly I am understanding the nuances of thinking. As Guruji and Swami Tejamanand always says, that the most difficult thing in the world is to understand how to think. If a person has got it, for that person there is nothing in the world that is impossible. If Sanskrit as a language teaches me that, it will empower me to take up any profession and be good in it because of my background in Sanskrit.
What about programming, technology, AI?
Automatically it will become. That's what I am saying. So when I was doing engineering, I have done electronics engineering, okay? But my job when I was working, it was a software job. Now in software you are supposed to program.
Yeah.
And I had studied one programming language, C. And I was competing with computer engineers who have studied probably 3-4 more languages. They could easily beat me in syntax of the language because I didn't know, but they could never beat me in logic. Because the logic was very perfect because of my Sanskrit background. So I am saying, one thing is you study Sanskrit and find out career options in Sanskrit. Yes, that is one option that Gauri will be able to tell in much explanatory way. But I am saying even studying Sanskrit will help you to be good in any profession that you are doing. Say for example law. What is the job of a lawyer? Job of a lawyer is there are already fixed rules. He can't make rules, but he has to still find out loopholes by going through the logical flow of all the rules and say, here there is a gap. Sanskrit will help you doing that. Why? Because as I study Sanskrit, I understand everything logically. So any profession that has that aspect, Sanskrit will help you. Arts, which is not logical, so to say. But Sanskrit is language that will help you in arts. Why? Because it's a language of visualization. The moment you start understanding Sanskrit, so many things will come in front of your eyes. It will help you in visualizing also. So I am saying, probably that was the reason why Bharata as a nation was good on so many different things. We had great artists. We had unbelievable sports people. We had entrepreneurs. We had scientists. Today, all the top companies, the top people are Indians. Now, we may not be able to do one-on-one connection, but I feel that all the roots of all these things is still in Sanskrit. Because somehow, through the language, through the mother tongue, that thinking was developed in them that they could go and do all these things. So that is my view. However, what are the options of career in Sanskrit?
Yeah, because basically when someone takes Sanskrit, we tend to believe that they will become a teacher or a research fellow. That's it. We don't know any other career options for the one who learns Sanskrit.
Okay. Now tell me, after learning Malayalam language, Malayalam teacher, what are the career options for Malayalam?
See, every language is the same.
So that is one question, When it comes to Sanskrit, why people are so curious? As if, for by learning other things, there are plenty of career options, and for Sanskrit there are none. So first of all, this question I don't really encourage, but still I would answer. Teaching, of course, that is for any language teacher, teaching is the first and the foremost career. Second is the research. Sanskrit, because the plethora, so many branches of knowledge are written in Sanskrit, you can work with a scientist of that particular area and you can bring to light so many hidden facts which are there in Sanskrit treatises. That is second. Third and very important, I feel, because it is a very structured grammatical language, it is the perfect language for coding. Perfect language for coding. And in fact, in Sanskrit, we have so many coding or encrypting. Now, in WhatsApp and all, encrypted message and all that we get. So, all this encryption or this enigmatic language, Sanskrit is the most perfect for that. I will start right from Panini. Panini, when he started writing the sutras, based on the 4,000 sutras he has written, spread over the Ashtadhyaya, 8 chapters, right? But the base of that is only 14 sutras. And they are called Maheshwara Sutra or Shiva Sutra, okay? Ayundruluk, Eogayao, Chayavaratlan, Yamai, Javagadadash, Javagadadash, Kapajadash, Kapay, Shatasar. Now, when I just recite this in a like a rap thing, people won't understand anything. But these 14 sutras are the base of all the 4,000 sutras which has structured this enormous wealth of words in Sanskrit language. It is unbelievable, unimaginable. At the same time, we have to keep in mind that Panini developed his own language for that. It is a meta language. In ayun, you take, and na you take, and an, that becomes a pratyahara. I'm not teaching Sanskrit here, but then he developed his own meta-language, and that meta-language works eco-yanachi. When I say eco-yanachi, the common people won't understand. What does it mean? Which language are you speaking? It is Sanskrit. But those who know Sanskrit a little bit, they don't know Panini, they won't understand what it is. It is a highly coded language. So for coding and encoding, which is the realm of security, spying system, this is the best language. I mean, Sanskrit can have career in anywhere. You throw a Sanskritist anywhere and he will spring up, like a spring he will rise up, because that has the potential of this. And therefore one can develop his own meta-language, one's own language, and that helps a lot, especially in the programming. He was talking about C, Java, C++ and all. I don't know all these. But then because of this coding factor of Sanskrit, Sanskrit helps in computers. I am not a person to comment how Sanskrit and computers are linked or how they are endorsing each other, how they are complementary to each other, but I can certainly say that writing a program based on Sanskrit grammar is very easy if a person knows the grammar of it. And if you write a program in Sanskrit in one language, then you take it to the other language, the grammatical pattern gets transferred, and the translation, that there, we have that as a natural language processing, NLP, or machine translations. Now you have machine translations and all that, but the base has to be in the program, and that program is possible because of Sanskrit. One more example, it's my personal example, I won't quote, but then these sutras, I was just reciting these sutras, this works as a speech therapy. Have you ever thought of it? This really works as a speech therapy for a person suffering from a stroke, paralytic stroke. I have experimented it and it has proved fruitful. Yes, on my own husband. When he suffered 7 years back, 7.5 years back, he suffered a stroke. I did this experiment on him. I first wrote it, all the sutras, and I used to make him recite all that. And especially when I got, this just came as, sudden idea. I am not a doctor, I am not a speech therapist. But how this twisting of the tongue, because he was not able to speak, right? And to make him speak was the first priority. He was able to walk, he was able to lift things and all that, but he was not able to speak properly. So I made him recite all that, and in addition to that, I always say that Sanskrit is the only language having Panchashad Varna Rupini we call, right? So many syllables we have. In English we have, I am comparing English because English we are conducting the interview in English, and English has become the language of the world today. There are only 26 syllables. We have almost double the syllables, and there are only 5 vowels, A, E, I, O, U. We have 13 vowels here, and therefore the amount of words we can create, the amount of phonemes we can create, they can match any language of the world. Any language of the world. Because every language has its own speciality, right? But if you know Sanskrit, then this much variety, no other language provides you. Even writing the Devanagari script, because many people don't know how to write Devanagari, right? So right from there you can learn it.
Even for AI, you say, or even for fast speed of internet, anything you have. Because there is so much of data available, you have to make it shorter, smaller, as crisp as possible. Sanskrit
already has it. This will teach you right from how to write akara. This is the first stroke, this is the second stroke, this is the third stroke, this is the fourth stroke, this is the fifth stroke, like that.
So from where I will learn Sanskrit?
From Chinmaya's easy Sanskrit level by Swami Ramakrishna.